Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Yes, it is that girl Samantha, and yes, I am back with another YouTube video. Now, before we get into today's YouTube video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and also make sure you follow me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and a TikTok. And I post a lot of frequent content on TikTok, so if you want to watch some easy digestible content that's literally like a minute long, you can go over there, and I will leave all the links to all my social media accounts in the description box below. But without further ado, let's get right into this video. I'm going to be talking about the new Amazon Prime show called Them, and how it don't hold up. It didn't give what it was supposed to give. You know what it gave me? Trauma. It gave me trauma. It gave me trauma. And I guess that's what they were trying to go for. Oh, it's trying to make you uncomfortable. Babe, I know the reality I live in being black. I don't need to be feeling uncomfortable about a show that I'm watching for entertainment. Talking about how we are tired of black trauma TV shows, movies, and all of that. The plot of the show, I get, a black family moves from North Carolina to Los Angeles in a neighborhood full of white people, and they face discrimination. But this show literally shows things that we don't need to see. The fact that the 5th episode of the season shows a black woman being sexually assaulted and her baby being murdered. Why did I need to see that? Why did we need to see that? For what? Oh, people need to know the history. Or the people need to know what white people did to black people. They know, babe. They know. It's 2021. They full damn know. And if they don't, they're oblivious to the fact, and they don't want to know. And this TV show is not going to make them know, because they're not going to watch something like this. But we as black people watch shit like this because we want to support black people and we want to support black creators. And this is honestly not something that I can get down with and support. I cannot support the show. It is literally trauma porn. I am not watching no fucking show with no white woman, no white person at all calling any black person the N-word. I refuse. I'm over that. I'm over that page. I didn't give off this us vibe, black trauma with horror elements in it, and it doesn't execute it well at all, because you have a movie like Get Out, which knew what it was doing. It knew what nuance it was trying to give. It knew what themes it was trying to give. It wasn't just black trauma. It was a twist. Hey, what if white people are kidnapping black people, putting their brains into black people's bodies to use their bodies because they know we have this physical advantage and we just have advantages, period. That's some horror shit. That's some scary shit. That's some scary shit. Damn, this is some scary shit. And it's literally showing, hey, did you know that white people used to call black people the N-words? Did you know that we used to be murdered, killed, and raped by white people? Yes, babe, I knew. I didn't need a show about it. I didn't need a show about it. I want to compare it to another show that has recently came out, which is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now, y'all may be saying, that's not an all-black cast. That's not written by all black people. Girl, calm down. The show Them is directed and written by somebody named Little Martin. Now, I looked at his, catalog of work that he's worked on, and nothing comes close to what Them is. He doesn't give that vibe that, his portfolio doesn't give that vibe, and that, that he has the range to talk about these things. And also, I think he's going to be working on the next Mortal Kombat so you already know he likes that violent shit. And I'm cool with him directing a Mortal Kombat movie, but it just seems off to me. And it also is written and executive produced by Lena Waithe, who has also written, I think, and directed for another black trauma film or a type of media called Queen and Slim, that a lot of people slandered because of how she dramatized black trauma and romanticized black trauma. Now, and the other writers are non-black folk or biracial folk. I have no problem with that at all. But if you're going to write a story or a series like this that deals with this subject matter, I feel like you need to have a mostly black writer's room and a very proficient director and writer to do this, because it shows that they didn't have this. It shows that they didn't have the range, because the fact that that scene that I talked about earlier is even in that show tells you all you need to know. I'm gonna compare it with a show like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, is because the fact that most of the people that work on Falcon and the Winter Soldier are mainly probably white or non-black, and they probably have some black people working on it as well, and the writing is better than them, literally shows what's going on. I think Black Hollywood got this notion that Black trauma films are the thing to do. It's quick, easy content. People are gonna digest it because Black Hollywood feels as though Black people are going to eat up the content because there are Black people in it. We have desensitized ourselves so much from trauma that we will watch anything that has Black representation in it, even if it harms our mental, status in our brain, because watching that shit is going to mentally affect you. Shit like that is going to mentally affect you. And I just want to bring up Falcon and the Winter Soldier and how they deal with concepts like racism, and they deal with nuanced situations like, the pressure on Black folk from America. And let me just, spoiler warning ahead. I'm going to spoil the new episode, and I might not spoil the new episode, but I'm going to spoil the series so far. Literally, Sam, who is Falcon, if you didn't know, who is a Black superhero, is at the end of Endgame is giving the shield by Captain America. He basically passes down his shield to him and is like, hey, it's yours, you're the new Captain America. And we find out in Falcon and the Winter Soldier that, Sam gives the shield away. And the reason why he gives the shield away to the U.S. government is because he knows for a fact that the color of his skin is going to overdo the work he will do as Captain America. Because as a Black person, we know that. We know that right off the bat. And he feels so much pressure to be this Captain America when he knows damn sure that people are going to judge him just based off the fact that he is Black. So you have Bucky, who on the other hand is like, well, why don't you do it? Why don't you do it? And he's kind of like that white person and it's like, well, you should take up the mantle. You should take up the mantle, or I would take up the mantle. And Sam is trying to explain to Bucky, dude, it's not as easy as taking up the mantle. You're white, and Steve was white, so it was easy for him to be Captain America. It was easy for people to cheer him on. It was easy for people to digest somebody like Steve Rogers. It's not going to be easy for somebody like Sam to be considered Captain America, to be considered the mascot of America, because we already know the history America has with Black people. That the character Chris Walker is, basically what America feels as though Captain America should be. Because in all honesty, if you look at it, like, they could have had like a Latino, an Asian, an indigenous, native person be Captain America, but they chose a white person who they felt as though, since he had all these accolades in the military, in the army, that he was well suited to be Captain America and not any other race. Even though there's most likely people in that universe qualified to be Captain America, they gave it to the white person that they knew was gonna be a great mascot for America. They even give him like a fucking Black partner. It's just a lot, like the nuance that they talk about. And even in one episode, Bucky basically confesses to Sam that, hey, there was a super soldier around like the same time. Well, I think after Captain America went in the ice, was in the ice for a minute hibernating, there was a Black super soldier who took on the mantle of Captain America and was imprisoned for stealing, the Captain America suit and impersonating Captain America. And he was in prison for 30 years. And he was also experimented on, and he was never given those accolades that Steve Rogers and the new Chris Walker and the new Captain America are getting. He was never given those things. He was just told to go back to his fucking country after the U.S. tortured him and basically enslaved him for 30 years for fighting for the country. And Sam is rightfully pissed off at it, and then it ends up to a scene where the cops are literally like profiling Sam and thinking that he is like attacking Bucky, and Bucky's like, do you not know who he is? And they're like, oh, you're Falcon, you're Falcon, you're Falcon. And Sam is trying to express to Bucky, like, it's my skin color first before whatever fucking superhero I am. I could go fight Thanos all motherfucking day, but when I come back to this place, I still got a target on my back from the people that I'm supposed to protect. And a show that is mostly written by and produced by white people literally talked about the nuances of microaggressions, discrimination against black people way better than a show that is meant for black people, specifically black people and black issues. Disconnect. It's a disconnect. And I don't see, and personally to me, I don't see a lot of people giving Falcon and the Winter Soldier its praise for, you know, giving the commentary, opening up the conversation about it. A lot of people are praising them for, they're showing the real deal. How much more do we have to see this? Like, we seen it when They See Us came out. That is literally a trauma. I can't watch that show. I can't watch it. Like, I watched it once and I cannot ever watch it again. Because it traumatized me, that it left me with a pit in my stomach. Like, it ended on this happy ending, but it left me with a pit in my stomach. You have movies like The Help that got praise and accolades. You had movies like 12 Years a Slave that got praise and accolades for literally having white saviors, traumatization, all this stuff that I feel as though we're tired of fucking seeing. Even back in the day, we had more black representation that didn't have anything to do with fucking slavery. It literally was black kids going to college, black kids with their love life and everything like that. And even when we did have movies like Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society, they had actors who grew up in those communities. They had writers who grew up in those communities. They had directors who grew up in those communities that literally were showcasing their communities, showcasing the struggles of black people to America. And they did it better than them ever could do it. A movie from the fucking 90s, a movie from the 80s, literally handled the nuance of discrimination and black trauma better than them, which comes out in 2021, where a lot of black people should be fully aware of how black trauma can affect black people. And I don't think a lot of people will look at it this way and look at like the nuance of everything. But I look at films and TV like that because I'm so sick and tired. I'm so ready for a black Indiana Jones, a black fucking Harry Potter, for that. I'm ready for that. And I'm glad that we have shows that are coming out now that are introducing like different concepts circling around black people. Like, I'm ready for a black sci-fi film that has nothing to do with black trauma. Like, I'm ready for that. And you may bring up Black Panther, but to me, Black Panther wasn't good enough either, because they literally made the most reasonable person, which is Killmonger, the villain, when he had every right to be who he was. He was a product of Wakanda turning their back on black people. And if you don't believe, everybody wants to say Wakanda forever, and we need to build our own Wakanda. Do you not know what Wakanda didn't give a fuck about black people who weren't Wakandans? They didn't give a fuck about black people who weren't Wakandans. They seen all these atrocities happen to black people around the world, and all they worried about was vibranium and black capitalism. They allowed black people to be discriminated against, murdered, and killed. And when Killmonger's dad went to the U.S., seen these atrocities and wanted to change something, and he knew he had the means to do it because he had the technology. He knew about all this Wakandan technology. What did the king do? Come down and kill him. And leave his nephew fatherless and experiencing this hate. But, Wakanda forever, Wakanda forever. A lot of people resonate with the character Killmonger because not only is he a black person that is relatable and that lives in America and is relatable to black Americans, but he is a black person that understands that, yeah, we live in a capitalist society, but if you're not putting that money back into the community and back into black people around the world, are you really this black liberated place? Are you really for black people? Like, should we really be celebrating this place called Wakanda if you're not going to do anything with the resources that you have? And towards the end of the movie, he changes his ways, he tries to give back, but it took Killmonger having to be stabbed and damn near killing himself for him to see like, oh yeah, I need to start helping Black people across the world. But yeah, I just feel like a lot of media, a lot of Black creators are not handling Black stories right, and I feel as though we are just being put up with Black trauma now. It's Black trauma with some horror elements, Black trauma with some horror elements, Black trauma with some horror elements. Y'all gonna like this? This show is gonna be called They. Like, this show is gonna be called We. Babe, I'm good. I'm fine. You can keep that. End of this video. If you have any opinions on how you feel about the TV show Them, I would love to discuss and talk about it. I just want to preface this, I did not watch the season all the way through because I couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to do it. But if you guys want to have a discussion about it in the comments, we can go ahead and talk about it. And also, tell me your favorite Black movie. It could be a Black trauma movie. It could be a regular Black movie. It could be whatever. Just tell me your favorite Black movie, and we can talk about it in the comments below. Again, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and also make sure you share this video to all your peoples. And yeah, bye.